So coming to your next point, in your textbook you can go with 1.1. That topic is the struggle to survive. This is the second event which will be relating to the previous topic as the taxes we were supposed to take. So here I have given a question, so your answer can be written in this way for this question. What were the reasons for the rise of price of bread in 1789? The bread price suddenly raises, and by 1789, the first topic when the Bastille was going on, the attack onto the Bastille was 1789. So this could be the reason which was the result, that outcome has come in the form of storming the Bastille. So this is the question. So just don't go into the form of answering the question, listen to the topic, and this topic itself will be an answer for your question. So actually the topic is the struggle to survive. How they were struggling, that society in that particular time in 1700s, how continuously the third estate people were struggling. There was no problem for the first and the second estate because they were totally prosperous, they were wealthy, and they were having all the privileges. And whatever the difficulty was coming into, it was only onto the third estate people. So how difficult it was for them to survive. One after the other, they were hit back by all the troubles, and they were struggling to survive, just to have a 2 square meals per day. They were struggling so much. And when the struggles goes on, or when you're not able to face the struggle, you try to protest and revolt. That is what the revolution is, the steps are going on. There we have talked about, it was compulsory for them to give the taxes. Now listen to this one. The population in 1715, it was 23 million, and in 1789, it rose to 28 million. When the population raises, what are the other consequences or series of events can you think of in the country? When there is a raise of population, the demand for the food raises, right? It is a simple part. The rise of population will increase the demand for the food. But is the country developing or producing that much of food? Maybe, may not be, but not exactly the whole of the amount of production is done. Can be done? We don't know. So if the production is not up to the mark which can satisfy the population, or which can give so much of food, the country is not able to produce so much, then we have a limited food here. When we have limited food, the population is high, the demand for the food is high, the food is limited, the price raises. This is what is going on. So the demand for the food raises. Production of the grains did not raise. They raise, but they cannot be raised to whatever the level the population has raised. They can be raised a little. In economics, we have seen that the land is stable. From a stable land, the land is, we cannot extend the land. We have a particular quantity of land, and we can grow a little more higher quantity by using some techniques. After using the technique, we cannot grow, we cannot increase the production from that land anymore. So the demand for the food grains raised, production of the grains did not raise. They rose, but not to that level the population has risen. From there, price of the bread increased. Obvious, the food materials price will increase because there is shortage of food. The government is not able to produce that much of food, so there is a shortage of food, and the demand is high, so the price of the food will increase. And in this you are looking into, this is first point. When the population raised, then what happened? What is the second point? Laborers had a fixed wage. When the population raises, the food doesn't raise, the price for the food raises. Is your wage also rising? No, you are at that fixed price only. I was earning 100 rupees, and suddenly I have seen the price of the food has raised. I am still earning 100 rupees. How will I be able to satisfy with that 100 rupees, with the little amount of food at the higher prices? How will I be able to satisfy my family's hunger? The wages are fixed, because again it is the larger population will be under exploitation, and you won't be getting proper jobs and you won't be getting higher salaries. The laborers had a fixed wage. Rich became richer, poor became poorer, and there has become a wide gap between they are too very rich and these are too very poor. So this gap has widened in this particular time. Situation worsened during the natural calamities like drought and hails, and upon that we say like it is आसमान से गिरे और खजूर पे अटके. The worst part वैसे ही हम लोग लटक रहे थे, and from there again you are onto the thorns and you are not able to sustain, you are not able to survive, and still more problems have attacked you. We are not having sufficient food here, the production we are not able to raise, upon that we have the drought and the hailstorms coming and destroying whatever the production is there. And that again worsens the condition, the food gets still more limited and it is only going off to the privileged classes, the first and the second estate, and the third estate have to make long queues and stand and wait for the food to get. So that was the worst condition. The situation gets worsened, still more worst at the times of your drought and hails. And this droughts and hails frequently used to occur. So the situation was too very pathetic, too very worst conditions they had to. So the topic is struggle for survival. Every step there is a struggle. They have to survive but they are not able to. Somehow or the other they are trying to survive. They immediately they have some other trouble attacking them. Again the level falls. The standards are falling and falling, and the richer are gaining and accumulating the money, whereas the poorer they are losing everything and they are even struggling for a simple life just to survive. Just to survive, it becomes like it is खाए तो जिंदा रहेंगे. At that level they have decreased. This is the condition. So when you are decreasing yourself, your situation is getting deteriorated, you have so much of anger towards the government. And you slowly when you see your family is struggling, your family is starving, your children are crying in the house, you get that anger and you revolt. That level is raising. That anxiety in the people is raising. This is the second step. First step went on into your tax payment, and second one went on into how you are forced. Even in these conditions, even if there is a drought, there is a hailstorms there, but the tax was not waived off. You were compelled to pay the tax, whatever the condition you are into. Even if you are able to produce, you are not able to produce, your harvest has gone worse there, you lost your harvest because of some of the calamities, but the tax has to be paid. This was the condition. And next condition was that they were thinking of raising the taxes. So the events are getting worsened now. The events are getting little intense. Okay. The next topic, it is 1.3, the growing middle class envisages an end to privileges. What is the meaning of envisages? Getting an idea. And the growing middle class. What is this middle class? The third estate. The first and the second estate are the prosperous class. And the third estate, we had 3 boxes. Remember, I have given 3 boxes here in the third estate. And the first box is your growing middle class. It is growing literally in education wise, it is growing, in the wealth wise it is growing. And the third box is totally labor class, and those people are like at the third level, or they are not so very prosperous and they are very poor. They cannot handle or they cannot get the idea to go with the revolts. They are suffering and suffering. Now the idea comes to the growing middle class that there should be an end for privilege. And what are the privileges? The privileges whatever are given to the first and the second estate, these are the privileges. So they got an idea, why is that these people, they do nothing for the society, but they are getting lots of privileges, and we are struggling and upon that we are not getting the privileges, let it be, but we are forced to go into and we are deteriorating from the level we are into. This should not take place. So these middle class people got that idea. In that process, what exactly happened and why these people got the idea? The poor peasants suffered. Obvious it is the third level people were suffering one after the other. The tax, whatever the topics we have covered, they were continuously suffering, and almost we have seen the level, the standard of living they are into, they are degrading from that level. So because of no food and high prices. We have looked into that one. The prosperous and educated got an idea. The prosperous people, that third estate first box, the big business people, men, the educated teachers, lawyers, they got the idea that we should not allow this anymore. This is a small seed which has started. We are supposed to go for a revolt. And this seed will be going with the second box and the third box, and these are the one who are going to join the revolution. The business slowly increases. The third estate, first box shows, and they were slowly trying to raise their business, and they were getting little wealthier so that they can be a strong personality in the society, so that they can support the lower class people of the third estate, so that the third estate people can listen to them because they are the wealthier people and they have good ideas, they are educated people. So they want to make themselves stronger. So the business slowly started increasing, and the business was like woolen and silk textiles. It was their own business, and they started increasing it, and a group of people started becoming little prosperous, where the idea has started. The teachers, lawyers, administrative officers, they also started getting the ideas. The idea of no privilege by birth. The first and the second estate, by birth. If I am born to a clergy person, I again will enjoy the same. I won't be paying the taxes, I won't be doing. But if I do good or not bad, but if I am a good clergy, bad clergy, doesn't make any difference, but all the privileges I will be enjoying. If I am born to a noble person, noble family persons, nobility, I will be enjoying all those things, the kingdom, the prosperities and all I will be enjoying. So these should not happen. This is what the idea has come from the prosperous level of third estate. The first box of third estate, these ideas started coming out, and they wanted to stop this one. After this, many of the people, like it is philosophers and all, they also were from the third estate people. Third estate, now we should be looking into what are the ideas they have put into. The third estate, philosophers, the educated and learned persons, what are the ideas? I will be putting in a form of question, and then I may explain. Because that question is very important, because we had many of the writers, they have written the books and they have given the idea what exactly a society should look like. Some have written what do you know about third estate. Such kind of books which were coming into, and you will be looking into your coming into the society with the print culture. You will be looking into this print culture in your 10th standard. Print culture, one lesson we have, and in that we will be looking like how the print has helped us to bring the ideas into the society. When you have the printing going on, you have the pamphlets going on, and when you distribute to the public comes to know about the ideas. It becomes very easy, and how print has helped, in that we will be learning. And through print, they have gone with the propaganda of the idea into the public. So the next question we will be looking into who these philosophers are and were, and what were their ideas, what were their writings, the books they have written, and how they started propagating this idea into the third estate public. Okay, as we were looking into the growing middle class envisages an end to the privileges, and I told you that there is a question regarding this one. What were the ideas reflected by the philosophers of France? As the answer starts with, they were, the first point goes on with, they were educated and believed that no group should be privileged by birth. The philosophers always believed that it is whatever the estates they had, the privilege should not be given according to their birth. The child who is born in the clergy group is given all the privileges what his father was enjoying, or the nobility group. That should not be there. And these ideas have come out from the third estate group. And the third estate group also we have seen the educated people. In the third group we have seen the first box with the educated big businessmen and all. They have this idea. They have come out with this idea. The second point is person's social position must depend on his merit. whatever the position you are giving to a person, that should be based on the merit, not rather on the basis of the father's position. If my father is a prime minister, I should not get the post of the prime minister, rather it should be according to my talent. They even put this into emphasis. The third point goes on with society should be based on equality and liberty, and these were said by John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau. These are two of the philosophers, and they said in the whole of the society there should not be any kind of discrimination between the estates like we have studied before, and the society should be on the basis of equality, and we should have liberty to be a citizen of the country. The two philosophers were of this idea. Now we shall be looking into the three philosophers, and we shall be seeing what exactly they have told. Okay, as we were discussing about, the philosophers had different ideas, so we shall be talking about John Locke. In his two treatises of government, he says that to refute the doctrine of the divine and absolute right of the monarch, he was disapproving the ideology that the monarchs are the divine and the absolute right should be given to the monarch. He was disagreeing to that one, and he was he was also into the equality one, and he wanted to remove that one, and he has written these all points in two treatises of government. The next philosopher is Jean-Jacques Rousseau. His idea says that proposing a form of government based on the social contract between the people and their representatives. It is something like the same democratic form what we are using now, and it is a social contract between the elected representatives and the common citizens. And here also at that time in 1700s, can you imagine this idea he has put into, there should be a equality and we are in the contract basis. If the representative doesn't work properly, again we shall have an election, we shall be changing. So these are the social contracts he wanted to put, and he was putting in front of the people. This is what his idea was. The third philosopher is Montesquieu. He has written The Spirit of the Laws, which says that a division of power within the government between the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. Can you imagine, whatever the system we are following at present in our democracy, the three organs we are having now, that is legislative, executive, and judiciary, this actually he proposed in 1700s. It is near about 400 years before this things these French people got the idea, and he proposed this. And these are the three different organs with different responsibilities, and the people have to work accordingly, so that the power is not in one hand. The same thing even John Locke also have told that one, the absolute power should not be given and it should be distributed, and he has given a system like it is legislative, executive, and judiciary where the power can be divided. So this should be your 5-mark answer, and a simple way you can take it into and you can learn properly, and if you put these points properly, your 5 marks, the 5 marks are yours.